Hi, and welcome to Community Voices, brought to you by Radnor Studio 21. I'm AnnaMarie Jones. Last April, I had the privilege to attend the Women's Resource Center Luncheon in Philadelphia. I didn't know too much about the Women's Center beforehand, let alone that it's located adjacent to our building here in South Wayne. And ever since then, I've been looking forward to having the Women's Resource Center's board president and executive director on the show with me to talk about the incredible work that the Women's Resource Center is doing for women and girls. So with me today, Karen and Cheryl, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so can you tell me, how did the Women's Resource Center get started?
Yeah, AnnaMarie, it's a great story because it was started by several women in our community right here in Radnor, and it was actually started in the basement of the Central Baptist Church. And the mission is to help women and girls to successfully navigate transitions that happen throughout our lives. So whether it's access to skill building, access to resources, someone just to listen or to get access to all of the great community resources we have, that's what the Women's Resource Center is there to do.
Great. And would you like to add anything, Cheryl?
I think Karen covered it really well. I think what's neat for me is that I feel like I'm picking up on a legacy that has been left by lots and lots of women who have really paved the road over the years, over the 44-year history of the organization. So for me, it's an honor to be in this role and to hopefully help the organization continue that legacy.
So what are some of the services that the Women's Resource Center offers to women and girls?
That's a great question. We offer a variety of programs, everything from a program that starts in schools in 7th and 10th grade, in schools all around the Philadelphia region, to help girls develop the skills they need to successfully grow up and be successful young women. We have programs for women in all stages of life who need support, whether it's making a transition, becoming a single parent, coming out of a marriage, or successfully supporting elder care issues. It's really the gamut. Whatever help a woman needs, she can reach out to us and we can provide her with services across all 5 counties in the Philadelphia region, from right here in Radnor.
Wonderful. Cheryl, anything to add to that?
So for me, what's interesting is that WRC for years has had this volunteer-operated helpline, and so 9:30 to 3:30 every day we have a core group of volunteers, some of them who've been on that helpline for over 20 years, and they're there taking the calls, talking with the women, connecting them with the resources. And then I think what's happened over the years is that the other services have developed based on the needs that we see coming through that helpline. So family law services for women who might be facing divorce or custody issues. We have a very individualized service we call resource coordination counseling, which is sort of this unique combination of counseling and case management, helping women to access and leverage the resources internally as well as externally to be able to navigate whatever it is they're facing. So it's very individualized, and it allows us to really meet that gamut of needs that Karen was describing.
You mentioned the 1-800 number. Can you give that to our audience?
Well, it's actually a local number, but
Okay.
I will definitely give that because I think so much of how people find us is through word of mouth. So the number 610-687-6391, and I would just encourage your viewers, if they know someone who's struggling with something, doesn't know where to turn, to just give that number a call. They can also email us at info@womensrc.org.
Okay, great. And can you talk about who comes to you? Who are the women that you're servicing?
Sure.
Where are they coming from?
All over. We really serve the Philadelphia region. We get calls from throughout all 5 counties. We also get calls beyond that, but our resource library is not as extensive as you might imagine for example, Schuylkill County or something like that. But at the same time, we work very diligently to connect every caller with a resource in their community that can hopefully help them take the next step. So that's, our greatest number of calls come from Chester County, Delaware County, and Philadelphia County, and then Montgomery and a little bit of Bucks.
I'm going to urge our viewers to come to this luncheon that I was so privileged to attend in April. How would someone get a ticket to?
Yeah, it's a great
Attend
question.
that.
So our annual luncheon, I think it's going on its 14th year this year.
Yes.
So 14 years we've been holding this leadership luncheon, and it's meant to really inspire and bring in volunteers and donors for our organization. So we have it in Philadelphia, as you mentioned, every year, and it's really our biggest fundraiser. We are a very small nonprofit. We have a very small staff, and this fundraiser is a critical part of how we raise our budget every year. So it's typically held in April or May. This year, in 2020, it's going to be April 24th of 2020 in Philadelphia, and they can go to our website at womensresourcecenter.net, to get access and buy a ticket right there. We haven't released the lineup yet, but we can assure you we're going to have an excellent speaker, and really it's a place where people come to get connected to other women who care about these issues. Women and men attend. It's a place where we bring together some of our corporate sponsors and other individuals who support our organization. And it's a place where we can get inspired and share stories about how we've helped clients in the prior year. We'll typically have a video or something inspirational. We'll have a speaker. We'll honor women who've done great work in our community. And it's just a really a packed room of 400 to 500 people, all with the same mission. So I'd highly encourage your viewers to attend.
Yes. There were a couple takeaways from the day that I came. First of all, like I said, I didn't know too much about the center myself. I liked that I saw a woman who had received some of the services get up there and speak about what she had been through, but it didn't stop there. It seems that she was then helping others. Can you tell us more? Give us an anecdote about maybe that woman, since she was able to share.
Yes, I mean, it's interesting because WRC's mission really has two parts to it. So our mission is to assist women and girls in successfully navigating the difficult transitions in their life. But the second component is, and inspire others to do the same. So our goal is really that we help each other and then we turn around and pay it forward. And we get so many women who come through the center. There's so many amazing stories of courage and tenacity. One of the ones that stands out for me is actually from almost 14 or 15 years ago. She had come to WRC. She had been surviving as the wife of an addict. And everything that entailed, and trying to care for her kids. And it was through WRC that she began to pull the resources together. And the way she described it to me is, she said, I was able to move from a place of seeing myself as this wife of an addict in survival mode to being able to see myself as someone who was capable of providing for my own family. And so with that shift that happened with WRC, ultimately WRC helped her to put a plan together. She went on to study as a carpenter and now has a successful handywoman business. And it's so neat to hear her talk about her clients, because it's a lot of older women. As you can imagine, it's a very it's a much more comfortable place for them to have a handy woman come in if it's an older widow living alone or something like that. And she ends up describing her clients as her friends. So it's just neat to see that sort of giving back.
That's really
that
cool.
She's doing later in her life.
Now, you service women, your clients are women, and what is the girl component? What age girls do you service, and what are some of the programs that you have for girls?
Sure. So we have a primary program that we now call Girls Lead, that is focused specifically on girls who have untapped leadership potential. So we're looking for those girls who might be sort of struggling to pull it together, or might be kind of going under the radar. So no one's really paying attention a whole lot. They seem to just get by, but they're not maybe raising their hand in class or what have you. And the counselors in the schools are the ones who nominate these girls to participate in our program. The program itself is very focused on 4 key skills: communication, problem solving, decision making, and conflict resolution, which sounds pretty basic. Ultimately, the reason we focused on those 4 skills is that one of our wonderful staff along the way did a research project of all of the literature out there on 7 different areas of 7 different things that can trip up adolescent girls. So everything from eating disorders to teen pregnancy to bullying, substance abuse. And she went and looked through all of this literature looking for protective factors because and as she went through this literature, she came across these 4 skills in common as protective factors. So we're not a teen pregnancy prevention program, but we kind of are, because we're basically reinforcing girls with these skills, these protective factors that will help them successfully navigate adolescence, and not just prevent them from these negative things, but hopefully open up opportunities for all sorts of leadership skills. One of the school counselors recently shared a story of how a girl who went through our program in 7th grade recently came back to her as a junior or senior in high school and said, "I just want to thank you for nominating me for this program." She said it gave me the courage to go to my teacher and ask for a recommendation for college.
Teaching them how to advocate for themselves.
So she specifically identified that program as being responsible for being able to take her to that level. So it's a neat program to see in action. We get a lot of cool stories. One of the girls who was from one of our newer schools, and it was in Southeast Delaware County, wrote a note to her, and I just have to read this.
Oh,
she wrote a note to her facilitator, and this was unsolicited, nobody asked her to do this. At the end of the program, she said, "You changed my life. I can't wait to see you again, hopefully. You made my dreams possible. You're amazing." And I thought, wow, what happened in that 7th grader's life to have her write something like that? So
Something
it's pretty neat to
profound.
see. Yes.
That is pretty amazing.
And that program is in 14 schools. We serve over 200 girls a year, and we're actually in Radnor.
What
right
schools?
here.
So you're in Radnor. What other schools are you
Yeah,
servicing that you
we're
can
in-
think of? That's a lot of schools.
Well, in Delaware
That's a lot.
County, we have Darby Township.
Okay.
We have Widener Partnership Charter School in Chester, Tinicum Middle School, Interborough High School. We have a high school curriculum as well that we're, and then we have one Montgomery County school. It's Stewart Middle School in Norristown. And then I'm trying to think through our Chester County schools. I know we have Phoenixville Middle School has been a participant for a lot of years, as had 2 schools in Westchester, Pierce Middle School and Stetson Middle School. And we're super excited this year. We have 2 funders that are going to help us start the program in Owen J. Roberts School District and also in the Coatesville School District.
Okay.
So we're kind of branching out a little bit.
Right. So where do you start and where do you stop? Are you in New Jersey? You go down to Delaware? Like
Just the 5 counties
just the
around
5
Philadelphia.
counties. Okay, got it. And so how did you both become involved with the WRC? Can I start with you?
That's a great question, yeah. So I've been, I'm starting my 7th year on the board, and I originally got involved the same way you did, AnnaMarie. I attended a luncheon and brought along some friends and was so inspired and moved to discover that this wonderful organization was right here in our community. And so I started directing my volunteer time. Helping women and girls was a real passion of mine that I'd been doing in the workplace, and to be able to do this in my own community and help and fundraise and help women around us is so inspiring. So I've been really honored to be of service to this organization for all these years. So, and then we recruited Cheryl in November of 2016.
Yeah.
So she's coming up on 3 years with the organization as our executive director. She succeeded a very long time executive director, which can be for small nonprofits. When your executive director retires, it can be a real risk for the organization. So we've been so fortunate and grateful to have Cheryl, who brings a real depth of background in nonprofit work and fundraising. And we've been, continuing to grow every year under her leadership. So it's really an exciting time for our organization.
That's wonderful. And how can anyone in our community and beyond get involved if they want to volunteer? Maybe they won't go the route of attending the luncheon. How can someone
There's lots of
join
ways.
the
Certainly.
troops?
I mean, we have so many volunteers involved in so many different capacities. So at a minimum, I would say visit our website. It's womensresourcecenter.net and sign up to be on our email list, because we try to communicate pretty regularly what's happening, what needs we have. We are on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. So if people want to find us there and stay in touch that way. We do regularly have different things going on. Right now we're collecting gift cards for back to school, because we had a couple of women who, just very quickly, if I can tell you one more story.
Please do.
This whole idea and back to school drive was started because of a particular woman who has been working with WRC, who is a single mom. She has a son who is a nationally ranked, what do they call it, open water swimmer.
Okay.
So he swims in the ocean and he's competitive and all of this, but at the same time, she's working with very limited resources. So he got this wonderful full tuition scholarship based on his swimming to a very good college down in California, but had no resources to even get him the materials he needed to set up his dorm room. So we said, okay, let's see what we can do. And so we've had people very generously donating gift cards, which are hugely helpful. And then throughout the year, we just have different needs. Our volunteers on the Helpline are a key piece of what we do. We have a ton of volunteers who help us pull that luncheon off and organize that. We have local family law attorneys who provide pro bono consultation. So pretty much, if you have some skills and are willing to be involved, we'll find a way to make use of them.
So you're asking the audience to think outside the box, or if there's a gift that they have
Yes,
to
absolutely.
see how they can match it to the needs there. And basically you can go on the website and see all the resources and see if you have a talent there.
And don't hesitate. If you don't see a fit, email us. We'll figure it out.
Okay, great. And going back to the hotline, can you tell me more about that? Is it something that's open 24/7?
So I want to clarify, because it is an information and referral helpline.
Okay.
We do want people to know that it's not a crisis hotline.
Not a hotline, okay.
Right, but we do try to make sure we have information on our website about other, like for example, domestic violence hotlines, things like that, that we really want to make sure we connect people to those. That being said, you can email us anytime. You can call during that 9:30 to 3:30, and we have a wonderful, dedicated team of volunteers who will pick up the phone. They're amazing and quite knowledgeable because of the length of time they've been on the helpline. And so you can call about anything. You can call because we have women call who, they're trying to figure out a relationship thing that's not working. Or we have women call because they're looking for housing. We have women call because they're, facing divorce, and they're kind of like, where do I start? So WRC is a great place to start, no matter what the issue. And then we'll try to help you get connected to the next step.
Right, it seems that it's such a great place to go, and there really are no boundaries for who can access that.
It's absolutely true. I mean, we work with women of all income levels, of all backgrounds, and we try to make sure they get connected.
That's fantastic. Is there anything else you want to share with the audience before we wrap up about WRC?
I just think it's a pretty remarkable organization. When I had the chance to apply and interview, I was just amazed with this is truly a community effort. There are at this point thousands of women and men who have helped this organization accomplish everything that it has, and it's really making a difference for women and girls who really need it.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'll tell you, I was blown away. I left there feeling so empowered, yet it was an emotional luncheon.
Yeah.
It was an emotional time to hear these women's stories and everything that they've been through, but yet how they gained their power back. So, great job, ladies. Thank you so much for being here.
thank you.
So, We're wrapping up this segment of Community Voices, and if you'd like to get in touch with the Women's Resources Center, please contact them by, give the number again, please, one more to the camera.
Yes, 610-687-6391.
Yes, and thank you so much once again, ladies, Karen and Cheryl, for being here.
Thank you.
And that's it for today on Community Voices. Until next time.